Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Fermi Paradox. We're here in the Tau City system with the Rama Scholar States, and they're building spaceships. And we have to decide what we're going to do. Are we going to spend some money to send some extra spaceships out? They want to get out of the planet's range just in case there's a nuclear overhaul? What would you call that? Nuclear bombing that will destroy the planet. And so we can dead end the project and gain some synthesis. We can do regular development and gain one arc, what they're calling the nuclear arc, or signs of an immediate nuclear conflict trigger multiple arc projects. A race between the factions to build the biggest arc ships commences. They travel as a fleet and move towards the Tobbys star system. Well, I don't like the fact that there's immediate nuclear conflict arising here. They're a utopian society. What's going on? But I think, you know what? I kind of want to have 3 ships sent out. In the demo, I was able to get 1 ship out. And so I'm really curious to see what happens with 3 ships. If they all come together as one or if they all separate. But let's see. Let's just do it. 50, small change. We got 84 synthesis, guys. We could do this. All right. Holy crud. What is this? They have evolved to live in jars with... So this must be their spacesuit then. Their spacesuit, and they've got like crab legs welded into there. This is so funny. This totally reminds me of like, I don't know, this is probably dating me, but it reminds me of Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. And Zurg, the evil guy, had these brains in a jar that would like come around and do things for him. That just totally is what that reminds me of. Except I think they rolled on wheels and these have legs. But still, how long have you been a brain in a jar? Alright, they are traveling towards the Tobbys system. So there we go. So we are part of the Ark Fleet now. So okay, that answers my question. These are not 3 separate ships going 3 separate directions. They're all together, which I'm assuming would increase their chances of survival. But from what I understand of the game so far, is that the planet itself will have a very different future and history and all that sort of stuff than the fleet, because they are now essentially disconnected. So we have to make decisions for both the fleet and the planet, which might be very, very different. But knowing that the fleet is out there, kind of like what they're worried about, if something happens on the planet, or if I decide to like gas the planet, as it were, or glass it, I should say, not gas it, but maybe gas will be a thing. But if I decide to glass the planet, then at least I know that the Rama have survived in their Ark Fleet here. So let's go see what they do. So that begins their journey from Tau City to the Tobbys star system. I really wish that there was a new species on the Tobbys star system, because I was fostering something there. But just so that they would show up and there's something in the Stone Age there. Let's see here. Let's go and just take a regular synthesis. Will we reach our destination safely? That is the question. Let's add resources so they don't run out of resources. Rama Ark Fleet support systems are optimized by the Rama engineers. I think I'm still gonna go for Utopia with the fleet here as well. They assemble an oral history of their journey. Stardate, day 85. We are still in a jar, and we are still flying towards another planet. All right, I'm gonna back out of this just out of curiosity. If I click here, I wonder if I can just kind of foster life to start here. Let's see. This is my playtest here. A solar collision generates rare elements on a Tabby star space region. So at the very least, when they come here, there's going to be pretty gems. Generations of dead organisms turn to fossil fuels deep in the crust of Tabby Prime. Plant growth on Tabby Prime slowly changes the plant's atmospheric composition. Okay. Alright, Rama Ark Fleet. What do we got going on here? Look at that ship. It's beautiful. Zero gravity gardening. The crew is experimenting with growing plants from Tau Ceti 3 in the zero gravity areas of the Ark Fleet. If successful, they will be able to feed a much larger population. Food is absolutely crucial to the psychology of your crew, and you need to handle that carefully. Angelo Vermilion, Belgian space systems researcher. Alright. So, we have to see how this gardening is going to work. It might be positive, might be negative. Let's find out. So we cannot we cannot afford the main objective, which is to get this up and running. We can hit a dead end with it, which won't have any negative consequences, surprisingly. It just will stop it'll just stop this gardening in its tracks, but it'll gain us some synthesis back. Plant life at Tau Ceti 3 does not take to zero gravity, and the rocket scientists abandon the idea. The zero-G gardening project is moderately successful and adds enough surplus food to slightly increase the population of the Ark Fleet. You know what? Let's go for that. I like that. I want them to be able to still have something from home. But we can, of course, increase the resource storage. Let's go ahead and do that. Relay computers simulate efficiency protocols for the Rama Ark Fleet crew. Let's see here. Let's go for regular synthesis. What discoveries await us in the Tobbys star system? What indeed? Destination reached. They already reached it? Holy crud. They arrive in the Tobbys star system. Spaceship Crash. Great. The Ark Fleet attempts a landing on the surface of Tabby Prime in the Tobbys star. As it enters the atmosphere, the ship's rudimentary design can't handle the landing conditions, and the crew loses control. Only that which cannot be lost at a shipwreck is yours. Lovely. Alright. Oh, total failure. I could just destroy the Ark Fleet entirely. I could have troubled development, and I cannot afford perfect success. So I think I'm gonna go for troubled development. I do not want total failure. The panicked crew flee from the collapsing ship, unable to leave the Tabby star system. The remaining Rama try to survive in the wilderness using scattered pieces of salvaged equipment. So essentially, we're gonna start a colony on Tabby. I think it's like Tabby 5 or whatever it's called. It's just in the Tabby star system. So let's go ahead and crash. There we go. We're now inhabited by the Rama colonists. The nuclear age. Okay. So resources exhaust in 58 years. We do not want that, so we need to build these people up here. The Rama begin to make the Tabby star system their home. Tabby Prime is what this planet is called. Casualties are okay. Utopia's... Let's keep at the Utopia. Let's bring them up here. The Rama, that's the plural, author several volumes on colonization of Tabby Prime. Let's increase the people. The Rama found a promising new colonial base. Excellent, but we're still losing here. So let's gain right here. The colonial planners. Okay. The colonial planners establish a protected land region on Tabby Prime. Let's go for more resources. And I think that's going to be the most important thing we can do right now is make sure that they have the resources they need in order to survive. Rama colonial planners establish new resource management methods for the colonies. Alright, new technological age. Let's do this. They've reached the digital age. Alright, Facebook. Here we go. The humans are now connected via complex computer systems, satellite networks, and mobile communication devices. Preliminary genetic and biodigital experiments could lead to health improvements and longevity, but caution is advised in these and other uncharted territories. Culturally, the humans may be confronted with techno-raves, massively multiplayer online games, and civil rights 2.0 in the digital age. Oh gosh, I've pretty much picked what I know of human history, and so far it's pretty much been exactly what human history has been. I wonder if I had gone, because that's the thing we see with the Rama, We went for a more utopian society, a society that really works well together. And in the nuclear age, they're already populated. They've already populated a second planet. So if humans could just bloody work together, maybe we could get off this planet and be involved in the solar system. But as it is, we're too busy fighting each other and having debates about how equal people are, when people should just be all treated equally and accepted, instead of being able to bloody fly out to the space stations and meet other aliens. All right, the NSA has built an infrastructure that allows it to intercept almost everything. With this capability, the vast majority of human communications are automatically ingested without targeting. All right. All right, we're home to the human dynasties here. I don't know why I just said that, obviously. Okay, so we've got enough synthesis to actually go for wisdom and try to pull us into more utopia. I don't think we need advancement. I think we need to get out of the power struggle we've got going on here. So let's go for wisdom. Let's spend it. Humans all over Earth have unprecedented access to information thanks to the internet. With processing power to spare, they may launch a coordinated search for intelligent life in the galaxy or try to find cures for their deadliest diseases. Let's go and do that. And let's grab a flare. Digital age technology let the humans optimize the access to all resources on Earth. Uh-oh. Oh, I mean, they might just be called that now. The Rama stranded colonists. I mean, technically, yeah, they're stranded. They can't get off because their ship is down. Paradigm shifts in Tobbys star. Colonial Religion. Great. The Tobbys star colonists are forming a new belief system. The long journey towards their new home and the transformative first years of the colony inspired the Rama to adopt a new faith. Science is a differential equation. Religion is a boundary condition. Got it. Interesting. All right. What are you guys doing? What are you doing? What are you doing to me? So we can have cultural ascent. We can spend everything and gain. Let's see. What does this look like? A community calling themselves the Merge, scientific at. Calling themselves the Merge. Maybe I think there's supposed to be something there. A community calling themselves the something. Merge scientific and philosophical ideas with a deep admiration and love for the new planet and its inhabitants. The colonists of the Tobbys star system followed this faith into a new era. So, I mean, that's a lot to put on that. But this is more people and less resources. A deep adoration for the crew of the Ark Fleet forms into a new religion. The colonists established traveler churches all over Tabby Prime, worshipping the scholar captain and the long journey that brought the Rama there. Or we can go into cultural descent, which takes a hit to utopia and creates more casualties. The cult is mystifying the society of Tau City 3, and people start worshipping glorified effigies of their ancestors. The radical followers of the Taurians infiltrate the colonial soldiers and factions of the colony. You know, what's funny is, I feel like they could take this hit. It's going to completely change all of this for me. But having the extra 20 synthesis would be really nice. Create a cult. So, of my wonderful, peaceful, utopian plant society, they've now gone to another planet and created a cult. I think that is what's happened here. Let's go for that. How does this look? Oh gosh, down goes the utopia. Ay. Alright. So now they're established on the planet, so they get rid of their spacesuits. That's what that means. They built a cultish theocracy. Oh great, so the cults are actually running the government. Let's improve their technology. A remarkable colonial laboratory from the Taurian colonies shares new insights about the Tobbys star system. I think we're gonna go out. I'm really curious about what's happening with the Rama scholar tribes here. How are you guys doing? Space race between multiple nuclear powers in Tau City 3 led to a construction of massive fleet of Ark ships. We know this. And a significant part of the population went. So we have 1.7 billion Rama left. Let's see. They now are harvesting radioactive resources and fossil fuels in the oceans of Tau City 3, the desert oceans, as we know. Let's go ahead and increase utopia with the remaining of this society. The Rama created a new style of architecture. Lots of architecture, you know. Let's see. Question mark. What does this do? Looks like we have more deposits. New resource management methods. Awesome. Let's see here. Another question mark. So, population decrease, it seems. A nuclear accident pollutes an entire land region on Tau City 3 and contaminates the Rama inhabitants. Dang it. Let's go ahead and take a little hit to utopia here and gain a couple more synthesis. Innate injustice causes suffering and despair amongst the Rama. Alright, more synthesis. Is there life after death? Is there? Alright, what are you guys gonna do? Alright, so this is the home planet. Scholar states. Kill the psychologists! Oh man, that escalated quickly. Opposed to progress in their society, some Rama reactionaries take to extreme measures. They start murdering psychologists all over Tau City 3 because of their supposed corrupting influence on the scholar secretaries of the Rama scholar states. Will someone put an end to this slaughter? Great shame on those who dare to harm a single scale of a spirit whisperer. In times of war and times of peace, it is never allowed to spill the blood of the most sacred among us. Leshe, father, mother of Or, Tig Songwalker. 9,000 years before the awakening in Teegarden. I really want Teegarden to be a thing now, because I've heard a couple things from them. Alright, massive injustice could take a huge hit to our utopia. The killing of psychologists is embraced by many scholar states, and they are hunted down by motorized infantry all over Tau City. Oh my gosh, these guys riding like motorbikes and shooting down psychologists. That is what this has turned into. The most dangerous game. The automatic rifle triumphs over progress. We can take regular development, so scholar secretaries do not want to lose the support of traditional Rama, so their response to the killings is ambivalent. The murder of a psychologist is not allowed, but not much is done by the scholar states to protect them. I think we should prevent this. I really do. It just doesn't bode well that that's going to be how their society is remembered. The Rama are shocked by the killing of their psychologists. The scholar states of Tau City stamp out the murderers with the full force of the motorized infantry. Yeah, let's go for that. Alright. They tried to kill scientists or psychologists, but they protected them. Alright. Let's see if we can get Teegarden to create something. A minor planet is destroyed by an asteroid collision in the Teegarden System. A battle over an important human stele area was won by an army of mechanized trappers. Interesting. Let's see here. A parasitic species developed symbiosis with a major life form on Frogstar 1. Human mechanized trappers lay down their assault rifles and abandon the art of war. Awesome. What is this going to do? A new line of airplanes can transport more goods and Rama across to Tau City 3. Try Frogstar. In Frogstar, an asteroid is trapped in gas giant's gravity well, becoming a permanent moon. A new plant species grows abundant on the surface of Trappist Prime. I'm still waiting for another species. I mean, we killed off the Kular on Rigel here. And I just want another species to also be growing here, because I don't just want the two here. Because I hear... Little birdie told me, rumor has it, that I need to have 4 species all coexisting in this galaxy at least, in order to reach sort of the end state here. Human Dynasties, development event. Consumption in Soul. Yikes. Global meat industry. Gosh, this is really like, is this The Simpsons? Are they like following along with everything that that is happening in the world? To provide the humans with industrial meat products, their dynasties raise livestock inside factory farming complexes all over the globe. Furthermore, the meat animals emit the meat. Oh, got it. Furthermore, the meat animals emit massive amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere of Earth. Fun fact, everyone says cows fart and that's what's the problem. Cows don't fart. They actually are physically incapable of farting. They burp. And that is what's creating the methane gases. So, take that to your mothers. Domesticated chickens and cattle may well be an evolutionary success story, but they are also among the most miserable creatures that ever lived. Oh, that hurts. That breaks my heart. Should we all... Let's see if we can make the planet vegan. Let's do this. I mean, at the end of the day, I do eat meat, but I try to eat less and less of it because it does impact the environment so greatly. Right, let's see here. So we can have massive consumption. Meat consumption is a central part of human consumer culture, and the meat lobby has a massive influence on the dynasties of Earth. So that takes a huge hit to our resource scarcity, and it only gives us 5. So I think we're going to go with regular development. The dynasties of Earth start to tax meat products, turning them into luxury goods. Good. Okay, I like that. But the taste of the privileged for animal products still leads to relatively high energy and land consumption. Okay. I kind of figured that would be the case, but kind of like how lobster and fish are become so expensive because really we're killing them all. This is probably the next best thing, is to make it really expensive so that only a few can eat it on a regular basis. And yeah, that's not so great for the lower and middle classes, but at the end of the day, it's going to be better for everyone overall on the planet. So let's go for regular development. Let's go for more utopia here. We're trying to get out of the dystopia here. Humans form new media to illustrate the history of their civilization. Should I take a hit to the tech level? I don't want to do that. So let's do a random one. Ooh, growth just went down. A major stela area of the humans' growth significantly in size and influence. If we ever meet alien life forms, will they be similar to our meat livestock and disgusted by humanity for breeding and eating creatures like them? Oh, honey, I guess if we all became a vegetarian planet, then the Rama would be really disgusted with us. They're probably like, good, you're eating the meat animals? That's great. That's awesome. Let's see here. I'm going to take it out here. I'm really... I feel like if I'm clicking over here on these planets that I'm going to be fostering stuff. I don't know if it's completely random. I'm assuming that that's the case, that if I start clicking on the places nearby here, that there will be stuff that I can grow and whatever. I mean, let's go to Teegarden here. Hey, here we go. Just like what I just did. An animal species on Teegarden Prime shows signs of higher cognition. Let's try and get this to go. Ice Age drastically alters the climate on Teegarden Prime. On Teegarden Prime, an ocean-based life form evolves onto land. Okay. Generations of dead organisms turn to fossil fuels deep in the crust of Teegarden Prime. Is there going to be a new... Nope. Oh, gosh. The Taurian cults. That's what they're calling themselves now? Tabby Star is out of resources. Yikes. Exhaustion of planetary resource fields. The Taurians have used up all available planetary resource fields. They are no longer able to provide for the colonial bases, and their cults will soon fall apart. The overuse of surface mines has destabilized the environment to the point where the Taurian society may not survive this devastating crisis. Orbiting Earth in the spaceship, I saw how beautiful our planet is. People let us preserve and increase its beauty, not destroy it. Okay. So they are no longer called the Rama. They are now the Taurians. So, yikes. Here we go. So we cannot choose whatever regress is here. We could make them extinct, or we can collapse. Now I feel like the dice means something. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get to... Oop, come on. There, oop, come back. Here we go. Construct starships. It doesn't really say. I mean, it doesn't say in the overall, like, how to play section here. I'm going to guess that's a roll of the dice of whether or not they're going to survive. Here we go. Chance of total carnage is 46%. Torian ethic and harm value. So actually their ethic is pretty good, and their harm value is pretty low. So actually they might survive this. They have a higher chance. So chaos and panic lead to the complete disintegration of the Torian cults, which is probably a good thing. Will the Torians take their automatic rifles and obliterate each other, or will they find a more peaceful way to deal with societal collapse? Let's go for it. Lost development on Tabby Star. What does this mean? The lost development of the Torians. The Torian civilization completely regresses without access to any planetary resource fields. Current knowledge is lost. The colonial scientists of the past are forgotten, and the Torians regress to ancient ways of life to survive in their decaying colonial bases. Artifacts from the Glory Age cannot be replicated anymore and become high in demand. Wow. So, I feel like I was just saying, I wonder if we can end up going back to the Stone Age, like being knocked all the way back to the Stone Age, and it feels like that's just happened. One of the oldest members of the Galactic Union is a civilization that managed to regress all the way back to the Stone Age nearly a dozen times. It must have been really confusing to practice archaeology back before they found out their past. Whew. So what does this mean? What does this look like? Okay. So actually, it's not going to knock us back to the Stone Age, it seems, but we have a choice here. So we can do a stable transition, which means that they're going to gain resources but lose the tech. Even without knowledge of the past, the Torians managed to organize their society in a very efficient way. Their technological artifacts are well preserved, and they are able to maintain the colonial basis of their civilization. So they regress back to the nautical age. So good, it'll tell us based on how much this is. The colonial bases disintegrate fast, and the Torians retreat into construction sites. Their old ways get lost more and more, and many Torians cannot survive without the knowledge of the past. Regress back to the Iron Age. So that's free, and we lose some people, but we maintain a little bit of the planetary resources, or we gain a little bit more. Or we have complete collapse. The old world turns to dust within a generation. Primitive technology can only help a small fraction of the Torians to survive the collapse of their society. 1 billion Torian lives will be lost, and they regress back to the Iron Age. You know, what's funny is both of these will take us back to the Iron Age. Of course, this one will hit us more because it will take out so many of them. But I'm really... I'm really thinking of going with the collapse here, because I think it would be interesting to see if they ever make contact with the old Rama planet, what would happen. So and plus 20 synthesis is nothing to sneeze at, and they kind of deserved it. They created like a planet of cults. It was basically what happened was what happened in The Lion King. Scar took over and just milked the planet for all it was worth, and then they had nothing and they all were dying. So I think collapse is good, kind of a reset, but they're not dead yet. So let's do that. There they go. Look at all of those lives lost.